but you don't want to make it look like you are, okay? This has everything to do with perception. Perception isn't reality. You want to make it look easy. So be the duck. Quack. Okay. So part of this, smiling. You have to be perceived as approachable, friendly, and competent. Competent. What does competent mean? What'd you say? I still can't hear you right in front of me. That's okay. Capable.
You meet the requirement.
Yes, you meet that requirement. You know how to get that job done. There's biofeedback here. You ever go into a situation and you're talking to anyone really, and you're like, I don't know if you really know what you're talking about. Based off of, stuttering or not being sure or saying, I think it's this or it's kind of like that. That doesn't really instill a lot of confidence in your competency. If somebody, let's just be real, sometimes it happens. They will smell fear. They will smell a lack of competency. If there is a chance that I might know more than you in this scenario, you're the one who kind of keeps that in check by being thorough and competent with what you're doing. But if there is even an inkling that I as a guest or I as a whoever really can have a little bit more knowledge or control over the situation, that's when I would take it. So you want to be the duck, be competent. And if there's a time where you're not feeling it, you fake it until you make it. Okay? Take a deep breath. Don't get flustered. Don't stress out. Just quack. Okay? Power of positive body language. What does it look like? Openness, straight posture. What else?
You're not like slouching.
Not slash.
Like welcoming.
Welcoming. Okay, how do you welcome someone?
Like smiling, but like just the way you stand.
Yeah, standing. So there's a huge difference between if I'm standing like this
Eye contact.
versus standing like this. Huge difference, right? Huge difference.
You're attentive.
Yeah, being attentive. You can tell that I'm ready. There's little things. You don't want to cross your arms. Crossing your arms makes it seem like you're not approachable, or that you don't care. You don't want to slouch. Makes you kind of seem like you're not really in it to win it, and that you don't care, and you don't care about me and my experience. Or dragging your feet when you walk around. Oh my God! Stop. Pick up your feet. Okay. Walk with confidence. Walk in direct lines. This is all perception. It's why I love it. It's also why it's really hard. And why it is your craft and it is a skill. All right, eye contact. When you make eye contact, you're being recognized. I'm seeing you specifically. You don't just blend into the crowd. Also, when you're multitasking up there, the phone's ringing, you have a guest in front of you, I'm asking you a question, the person, your co-partner is trying to get menus to you, and there's an online reservation that just popped up. Eye contact is also a way to communicate with people. Of saying, I recognize that you're there, I'm also going to smile at you, and I am going to come back to you, but there needs to be a moment where somebody is recognized. Also, when you're on the phone, who's more important, the guest on the phone or the guest in front of you? Guest in front of you. Guest on the phone is still important, but in terms of if it's only you and you need to make the choice, you need to choose the person who is in front of you. Okay. Also, the power of your tone. When you answer the phone or when you talk to somebody, it needs to sound like you're smiling. It needs to sound like those are the first words that you have spoken that day. okay? It needs to feel good. Because this also goes back to, nobody likes being around somebody who doesn't like what they're doing or isn't into, doesn't make you feel welcome. Someone has an attitude, which again is hard to say, right? Attitude, what does that even mean? Someone can say you have an attitude if your tone of voice is off. Your tone matters, so be intentional with that. It also helps, like when you are picking up the phone, actually smile. It does bring your tone up, and you sound a little bit more lively. So part of it also, we need to be pretty concise with how we deliver a message. We need to be consistent with how we handle situations. Because sometimes, the reality is that things are always moving and things are always shifting. So we need to have a normed way of handling situations. Okay? This just helps with keep things tight. So the language of hospitality. We already went over language of service, right, with our adjectives and different kind of experience elevating words. This speaks directly to the experience that someone should have. One, you're patient. Fact of the matter, sometimes you're answering the phone or you're answering that question, you're going to answer that same question 5 different times. But it needs to sound like the first time, every time. If somebody's confused, you want to control the tone of voice you have, control your facial expressions, and you'll be able to kind of navigate it. 2, gracious. Handle yourself with grace. Calm. Confident. Competent. Positive. Solution focused. Stuff goes on in a restaurant all the time. All the time. Doesn't matter how prepared you were, how many lists, checklists that you went through. It doesn't matter, something's gonna happen. That's also what's kind of exciting about all of it. But the fact of the matter is I want you to remain solution focused. We can't be, it can't be the end of the world. It has to be focused on the solution. You need to be accurate with the information that you're giving. If the kitchen closes at 11 o'clock, would you tell them that the kitchen closes at 10? No. Be consistent, be accurate. Make sure the information that you're giving out is right. Informative, helpful, happy, and effective. See it good? Is that something that my host back here, you're getting it? All right, because all of this stuff is theory, but it's all action, okay? This is a good one also for all of us when we're tableside. 3 A's to conflict resolution. Truth is, like we said, stuff can go down. Someone may not perceive things in the way that we want them to. When that does happen, there are 3 A's. You want to acknowledge, apologize, and act. A lot of it has to do, the perception of how you handle something has everything to do with the speed in which you do it. And if you're genuine. So if someone is telling you something and they've gotten to the point where they're feeling some type of way, listen and accept what they're saying, acknowledge it. Simple way to acknowledge it, you can repeat it back to me, what you think I just said to you. And that's something that I can, if I'm saying, oh my gosh, I had a reservation and I was late and they tried to call me and it didn't work and I'm just hungry and blah, blah, blah. It's as simple of,
yeah.
Wow, I'm very sorry that you're not having the experience that you wanted to have. It's never a good thing when you have to wait and you're going back and forth, when you just want to have a good time, and I definitely want you to have a good time. So from here on out, we'll switch gears, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that you have what you need. I acknowledged you, I apologized, and I also told you what I was doing. Just simple, 3 A's. When you're at the host stand and, everybody, I don't know if everybody here has hosted before, but sometimes you can kind of just tell when somebody, that intensity is kind of impending or building. You can tell. In that moment, disengage and come get one of us, and we'll be able to smooth it over. Okay? You never be in it's not your job to be yelled at. It's mine though. So come get me and you can have somebody yell at me. I would much prefer it be me than you. Okay? Performance expectations are hosts in the room. There is a nice little breakdown. That's on page 7. As we had said before, clear, clean, and concise communication. You're expected to coordinate reservations with walk-in guests. Possess clear trajectory and plan for the shift based on reservations. Monitor seating and volume trends via dining room stats and cover counts when appropriate, and we'll be able to go through when that matters and when it doesn't. Complete bathroom checks every 30 minutes maximum. 30 minutes is a really long time. Everything in this restaurant speaks to who we are and what we do, including our bathrooms and the state of bathrooms. Our host will be maintaining it. It's as simple as keeping hand paper towels in stock, switching out any toilet paper that's there, picking up any towels that are on the ground, maybe wiping the sink off, or getting soap for it. We never want a guest to notify us of something that we're out of. That is something for you to maintain. We're in a great position because we have a men's room and a women's room, and the women can't go in the men's room and the men's can't go in the women's room. So now both bathrooms can get the respect that they deserve. Okay? But don't worry, I've also done bathroom checks. It's actually not gross. Just saying. Exhibit positive and experience elevating word choice. Please don't say like, dope, whatever. Polish yourself, okay? Be intentional with the words that you're using. Possess ability to make quick and informed decisions. You have to think on your feet, and you have to know, you have to develop that sense of when's the time to make a move, when's the time to pause, when do you go on a wait, when do you push your dining room. All of this comes with being on the floor and identifying and getting into the rhythm of that particular service, okay? That's something that we'll work on in developing, so don't worry if you're like, huh, right now. All right, any questions so far?
Are female hosts going to be responsible for bathroom checks in the men's room and vice versa?
No, women are going to go to the women's room and men to the
hosts themselves. Like, so what if we only had female hosts?
Then we're going to need to find a different solution.
No, there's a male. He was here yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, just like on that shift.
We'll find a different solution for that. Any other questions so far? Okay. Act as a communication hub by swiftly identifying and addressing needs. That comes from paying attention. You have to pay attention to what's going on. Every shift is different, and they're alive, and you have to be ready, and you have to be assessing them. Also, what worked yesterday might not work today, and you have to be ready for that as well. Deliver necessary information to all points of contact in a positive and hospitality-driven manner. We're gonna have, so any PPXs or VIPs, not very intoxicated people, but our VIPs, we refer to an open table as PPX.